This is a demonstration of how I constructed a do-it-yourself ATV mirror bracket with 1/2-inch PVC pipe and 1/2-inch PVC attachments, and then mounted KEMIMOTO ATV motorcycle mirrors on it for my John Deere D130 lawn tractor. And this provides me with 2 large rearview mirrors at eye level so I can safely detect any incoming traffic behind me when I drive in the street. For operator safety, before operating your D130 with the ATV mirror bracket, first take a moment to check the joints to make sure that nothing came loose. And then take your mallet and give the top of the ATV mirror bracket a couple of light taps just to make sure that the ATV mirror bracket is properly seated and the bracket supports. So I've been using this ATV mirror bracket and these ATV mirrors for a couple months now. And it's important to understand that when the tractor is operating and moving forward and the mirrors are in this configuration where they're spread out, that it's pretty easy for the mirrors to come in contact with branches or bushes or anything else that could get in this path. This being said, these ATV mirrors are extremely adjustable, and I mitigated this safety hazard by operating in 2 different modes. So right now in this current configuration, this is street mode. And in street mode, I have the mirrors fully extended and easily adjust them so that I can see the traffic behind me if I'm in the street. And I only use street mode in the street, wide open spaces, or anywhere there isn't a risk of hitting anything with extended mirrors. Okay, so in contrast, this is yard mode, where I simply take a few moments to collapse the mirrors inwards, which prevents any risk of coming in contact with tree branches, bushes, or anything else. And I really don't need, the mirrors extended in the yard, so that isn't really a problem for me in the least. So on the D130 tractor, right here you have these 2 holes, one here and one right here. And they normally serve as retail display inserts for floor sales in Lowe's or other stores. Or they act as accessory mounting points for certain John Deere accessories such as the sun canopy. But for this demonstration, I'll call them bracket holes. So you have 1 bracket hole on the left and 1 bracket hole on the right. So with a portable drill and 3 8-bit, carefully drill each of these bracket holes center mass with a 3 8-bit so that the 2 by 3 8-inch carriage bolt can fit. I'll demonstrate by cutting 2 pieces of 8 inches out of this 1/2 inch PVC pipe and labeling them A. Okay, so first I'll line up the ruler with the PVC pipe, as so. And then use a marker to make a mark at the 8-inch line. The next step is to use the PVC cutter. Find your mark. And make the cut. The next step is to take your ruler and verify your cut at 8 inches. Now take your 8-inch cut and line it up with the remaining 1/2 inch pipe and make a mark at the end. And this mark right here is for your next 8-inch cut. So now make your next 8-inch cut with the PVC cutter. So now verify that both of your 8-inch cuts are within tolerance of each other, and then label them A with the marker. Repeat these steps, and the required inventory is 2 cuts of 8 inches, labeled A, 2 cuts of 6 inches, labeled B, 2 cuts of 3 inches, labeled C, and 2 cuts of 9.5 inches, labeled D. All these items in the upper bracket inventory is measured 1/2 inch PVC and includes 2 caps and 4 T PVC adapters and the PVC pipe that was cut in the previous step. Now construct the upper bracket as according to the diagram with this inventory. So after you construct the upper bracket, give it a couple taps with the mallet. So I constructed 2 bracket supports. The one on the left is assembled, the one on the right is not assembled, and the parts are 2 1/2 inch PVC extensions, 2 3/8 by 4 inch carriage bolts, 4 3/8 by 1 inch washers, 8 3/8 by 16 nuts, and 2 3/8 locking nuts. And this is just a configuration before we attach the bracket support to the mower. So make sure that you assemble the bracket support in its exact same order with the washers, the bolts, and then the locking nut. Make sure that the locking nut is loose Do not screw the locking nut tight on the bracket support. And with the carriage bolt, it can go in either way, so it doesn't make a difference which end you put the carriage bolt in. So the next step is to take our bracket supports and insert them into the bracket holes that we drilled out with our 3/8 bit. Now take a support bracket and remove everything except for the carriage bolt and the PVC extension. So we'll just like this. Next, take the PVC extension and the carriage bolt and put it through the bracket hole, just like this. Now, only hand tighten without the wrench, and only attach the washers and nuts, but don't attach the lock nuts, because this is for tests before cementing and painting. So the bracket will be removed when the tests are complete. So now the two bracket supports are hand tightened, attached without the locking nuts. Our next step is to attempt to attach our upper bracket to our bracket supports. Let's see if this fits. And it looks like we got a perfect fit, so this is a good news story. Looks like a lot of our heavy lifting is done. So now I'm just going to take the mallet gently tap it in. So this is pretty good. So this is exactly what I was looking for right here. So this is good. Got a perfect fit. So the next step is to test the engagement lever. I'm going to make sure that I can safely rotate it back and forth while operating the mower. And this is the engagement lever right here. So push it forward and back. One more test. Forward and back. So the engagement lever works perfectly with no problems with this mirror bracket. And pass the test. So the next step is to attach the ATV mirrors to the mirror bracket. And I've done that with no issues, and I set up on each end about 1.5 inches from the side. So now that I've verified that the upper bracket fits to the bracket supports with no issues, the engagement lever works safely with no issues, and the ATV mirrors fit with no issues. So the next step is to remove the ATV mirrors and use Oatey PVC cement on the upper bracket. Okay, so as a caveat, this is the first mirror bracket that I made for my John Deere tractor. And this is the one that I'm working on for the video. And I had to get some yard work done over the weekend, so I popped off the other one and put this one back on again. And this worked just fine for about 2 months and no problems whatsoever. But this past weekend, this side right here became a little bit loose on the right side, and the rest of it is just fine. And on this bracket, I used the Oatey medium PVC clear cement. So I think the reason this came loose is obviously because of the vibration of the mower, but also I think it's either a combination of I used a medium instead of the heavy duty cement, and I probably didn't use enough of it on this side right here. So from now on, I'm using the heavy duty clear cement for these brackets, and I make sure I put more than enough on each of the joints to make sure they stay firm. And this doesn't happen. In this step, we use this Oatey heavy duty clear PVC cement to cement all the joints where the PVC pipe and PVC supports are connected on the upper bracket. So I won't use PVC cement where the upper bracket meets this PVC extension. I'll only use duct tape for this connection, and this will allow me to easily remove the carriage bolt if required. So I apply 2 generous coats of cement on all the joints and let it dry overnight so it had over 16 hours to properly cure. After checking the joints, I'm satisfied that the bracket is ready to be painted. Okay, so in this step, remove these 2 lower extensions by twisting them off, which should be really easy to do if you did not use PVC cement on them. And then take the black duct tape and duct tape these joints on the upper bracket. After applying the duct tape to the upper bracket joints, reassemble the 2 support brackets with the PVC extension, the bolt, the washer, and the nuts. At this point, the ATV mirror bracket is complete, and the only thing left to do is to attach it to the tractor and then attach the ATV mirrors to the ATV mirror bracket. So now I'm going to attach the mirror bracket to the D130. And the first step is to take the support brackets, 2 of them, and insert one into the left bracket hole and one into the right bracket hole. And all you do is simply take the PVC extension, the bolt, and put it right on top of the bracket hole, just like that. The next step is to go underneath the support bracket and attach and hang tighten the 2 washers, the 4 nuts, and the locking nut. Okay, so the next step is to tighten the bolts, and I'll be using a 14mm and this 15 standard ratcheting wrench. Very important, make sure you're using a locking nut here and that's on tight. From experience, if you don't use a locking nut here, the vibration of your engine when it's operating will make all these nuts come loose and fall off. Okay, so now we're going to attach our upper bracket to our 2 bracket supports, which is pretty simple. Simply take the upper bracket and line it up with the bracket supports, like so. And then take the mallet and very gently tap it in. Okay, the next step is to use some duct tape to duct tape the 2 joints where the upper bracket connects to the support brackets. So right here and right here. All right, so at this point, the ATV mirror bracket is constructed and completed. So the next step is to add the ATV mirrors to the ATV mirror bracket. So the final step is to attach the ATV mirrors to the ATV mirror bracket. And these are KEMIMOTO ATV mirrors, which were really easy to install with the hex tool that they provide. And I installed them 2 inches from each edge. If you found this information helpful, please show support for future presentations by leaving a like and subscribing to this channel. Thank you.